falling star. When you make a wish, ooh, just remember luck is no such thing. One man succeeds while another man fails. Why is it then you ask the stars up above, the planets of life, who controls your very soul? From the beginning of earth and throughout eternity, that's the stars up above.
Just ask them.
Ooh,
Just ask them.
the planets of life, who controls your very soul.
Hi, this is Z Starman with a special edition of Astrology Numerology Now. Earlier tonight, we had a studio audience with some of the greatest astrologers in New York City and, if not, the world. Staying after the live telecast is one of my favorite astrologers, newcoming, up and rising astrologer. And I just want to welcome to Astrology Numerology Now, after the live show, Miss KRENA Dean.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
KRENA, thank you for staying. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Born and raised in Brooklyn?
Yes, yes. Born and raised. Well, I grew up a little bit in Long Island for a little bit, but
Okay.
still back in Brooklyn.
And tell everybody your birth date, not the year. We don't want to tell them the year.
Okay. I'm born April 22nd.
April 22nd.
Yes.
And what's your moon and rising sign?
I am a moon in Gemini and a rising Libra.
I'm just hearing that for the first time. I know
Yeah.
you said it before, but moon in Gemini, rising sign in Libra.
That's right.
So you have the Venusian factor on your sun sign.
That's right.
And Venusian rising. So you must be a natural born sweetheart.
Yes, yes. Until I get angry, and then it's another. It looks different.
The bull sees red, then they start charging.
Exactly.
How did astrology find you, KRENA? When did you first get into astrology, do your first astrology chart?
I got into astrology around 2009. I was working as a manager at a spa, and I just started reading. I'm actually self-taught, so I just started reading and learning and practicing with the people that I kind of worked with. And after 2012, I left my job, and I just started going really heavy at putting myself out there and sharing my experiences. I actually started my work.
What was your job that you left?
I left management.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in spa and fitness.
Okay.
And then I went through my Saturn return and started documenting it. And that's when I started going out into the open about my...
What was your epiphany moment in astrology when you said to yourself and found out, KRENA, we can do this, or KRENA, I get this?
Yeah.
When did that moment happen?
During my Saturn return.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was studying up until then, but Saturn return really transformed a lot in my life. And so I was like, this is amazing. And if I didn't know about this, I might have lost my mind.
How would you describe your brand of astrology?
I see it as slightly rebellious, and I try to keep it laid back, chilled. I also like to work in a way in which I'm not limited by old tradition, but also like to keep the classic idea. And I'm very inclusive as well. Inclusive of all the modalities, inclusive of everything from 13 signs, sidereal, numerology. I like to bring it all into my work.
So you implement, as I like to say, all the schools of astrology.
That's right.
You implement sidereal, tropical, Vedic astrology,
That's
all
right.
those schools, which is a very nice thing. And this is why you get so many likes and so much attention on Facebook. Now, I'm going to share something with the world. You're a new mom.
I am, yes.
And let's show that ring again. Yeah. look at this thing. Girl, he loved you. Tell us about your new baby.
She is so precious. She's born July 19th.
Okay.
So she's got a moon in Gemini as well.
Really?
We'll be talking a lot with each other.
What's her name?
Her name is Naya Idel.
Naya Adele.
And she's just everything. Changed my life completely.
Moon in Gemini. What's her rising sign?
Libra as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I've been Sun in Cancer.
So you guys should be best friends.
I think we're going to be really good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you have to share about 2018 and beyond? What is something that you can look for and tell all the viewers to watch out for in 2018?
I'm telling everyone to start their own business, be more entrepreneurial in 2018.
Why is that?
Because of all of the Saturnian energy coming back home into Capricorn. And I also like to look at some of the other aspects that astrologers don't. So Lilith is also in Capricorn.
Right.
That gives you a darker need for ambition, and fulfill it in a way in which you can help humanity, create something with other people in business, go global, and think about how you can create something that you can make money from, but also people can use, and think of longevity as well.
Because I felt even with the Hillary Clinton and the whole women's movement at that time, it's a time of feminine energy. The feminine principle has finally come on the planet, and this is sort of kind of the universe saying, okay, or the women's goddesses saying, okay, you didn't like Hillary, who rightfully won by 3,000 popular votes. We're going to expose all these sexual nuances and egregious things that have happened. KRENA, what's your thought on it?
Well, the first thing I'm thinking is Hillary's a sun in Scorpio. So
Exactly.
It very much so seems like a connection.
That's right.
And then now Scorpio is ruler of sex because it's hidden, right? We don't usually show what we do behind, in the bedroom, but then Jupiter is the light. It's this big gassy planet, and it's illumination, right? So it's shining the light in the bedroom, and so we're seeing, and it's also about the occult happenings, right? Because it's also talking about what happens behind business as well. And Scorpio is a sign of power, sometimes the abuse of power. Very similar. Scorpio and Capricorn are both signs of power. Capricorn is that authoritative power. Scorpio is like this power from that seduction sense, how we bring in and go out and go after. So yeah, with Jupiter and Mars also personally for you, it's a time where you're also probably having a lot of illumination in the loins, in the sense of there's a chance for you to reignite your own passions, your own desires. It's also important not to always dive into what's going on in the media, because that can also have some smoke and mirrors. There may be very much so, the scandal is definitely to me connected to that Jupiter and Scorpio.
Okay.
But there's still a lot more that you can't see with that. There's a lot more hidden. Scorpio represents the occult. And that's anything that is hidden knowledge, hidden energy, occult groups. You can go everything down to even the Illuminati, right? If people are interested in those topics. So we have just even seen the beginning. I really feel like there's so much more that Jupiter can cover, and it's also tied to Saturn in Scorpio. So there's a lot. I feel like there was a lot going on then, but Saturn restricts. So now it's like I'm ready to come out. I'm ready to showcase the abuse, the over negligence of how power is used sexually, how people get roles and acting. It's a lot of Hollywood energy. That's the root chakra, energy of the earth, so it's all very connected to that sexual exploitation.
Who are your favorite astrologers besides Z Starman?
I was gonna say, yeah, Samuel Jackson, who does.
What's his name?
Not Jackson. Sorry, Samuel, who does.
Samuel Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Samuel F. Reynolds.
Sorry, it's pregnancy brain.
He's been a guest on Astrology Numerology
Yes,
now.
he does the Zodiac Lounge. I really love The Peace Dealer. He's on YouTube, and I'm also a really big fan of Liz Green as well, and I read a lot of her books when I was studying. And I also follow numerologist King Simon, and I've worked with King Simon a lot.
What would you say to any young person, because there are a lot of young people who are into astrology and numerology these days. What would you say to them? How would you ask them to adopt astrology, and what advice would you give them if they wanted to be an astrologer like yourself?
Well, I think that it's important, if you want to do astrology, to see it as a movement more than a business. And,
I agree.
And when you're able to do that, you can find your own lane. And that's one thing that I've learned is about crafting my own lane. And yeah, just really think about how it is that you are different. And use your astrology, use your chart, use what makes you different, and put it out there.
I couldn't think of a better answer. KRENA Dean, will you please come back to Astrology Numerology Now?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You so much for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great and when I'm long gone, Miss KRENA Dean. So thank you once again, everybody, for watching the special edition of Astrology Numerology Now, as I call the great minds of astrology and numerology. This is Z Starman saying peace, love. Thank you, KRENA.
Thank you.
Light, namaste.
Ask them why you is so sound and practical. Yet Gemini, so inconsistent. Ooh, let me tell you a secret I know. Known the world over. Your life is controlled by the stars. Just ask them. Ooh, the planets of life. Virgo is known for versatility. Time. While Taurus for persistency. Aries. Yet Aries to be very, very ambitious. Libra, the cheerful and merry one.
Pisces, you fish. You are a romanticist, constantly striving to escape from reality into the blessed land of your dreams.